And
we're live. Well, apparently we were live for 11 seconds, but it didn't show us.
Interesting.
Must have went live right away, but didn't confirm. Classic.
A lot of angel numbers.
Sure.
Welcome to episode 3 of Weekly Mojo.
Yeah, starting at 3:33 p.m. Central Time.
A little late, but better late than never.
I guess maybe I announced that a little early. It's 3:32. So.
Oh, shit. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, I suppose.
Right? Reality's imperfect.
Check your own fucking clock. Not my problem.
Yeah. But you would have believed us if we hadn't called it out otherwise. Because that's how the internet works.
It was very convincing. So,
3:33 now. So.
For lack of better terms, here we are.
Yeah. Well, it was 3:33 at 5:55. Well, 5:5 seconds in. There you go. It is another episode of Weekly Mojo with your host, Madison Jessica, here on Playhaus TV. Like, subscribe, follow for more, whatever you're supposed to do on YouTube. This is the self-promotion stuff before that episode.
On YouTube? Okay, nice.
Yeah, no, that's where this goes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is YouTube Live. We don't have any other accounts to connect it to. Like, maybe we could get into Twitch. I bet you'd have an audience on Twitch. They give you money on Twitch, So, but anyways,
I feel like we're hedging into territories that are Web 3 exclusive, and I'm just waiting for the OnlyFans comment at that point.
I was never going there.
Here for today.
Never going there. But anyways, the
333.
Right, I know. It's
anyway,
334
we're
on
still
the
here.
computer. Anyways, Twitch, to clarify, Twitch is a video game streaming platform, and yes, there are some other people who get themselves famous on Twitch for streaming other things. So, there we go. That's full circle on Twitch. But we'd be doing this live screen share show using AI tools and talking about your artwork and like politics and history and bullshit in the news. Which, I think is far more interesting. Yeah. That's what we do.
Right.
We got bad bitches of history here. That's the smut we're peddling.
Without further ado, let's get into our Weekly Mojo with one of Casey's most wanted, Maddie Howard. Are you ready for this bad bitch?
Yeah, it's so weird and jarring for you to use her real name, because I always think of her as how you named the artwork.
Oh, okay. I guess if you can see, we'll just get right into the bad bitches, because Agate Eyes here, if we can get a close up.
Oh, you were gonna reveal that in the story?
Well,
you turn it like 3D style so they can see the depth.
Right. So I was able to. I found oh shit! I gotta find that store on Etsy. I'll plug her. This other baddie on Etsy was able to give us. You can
see the rocks sitting on there now. They're agate.
I found agate that I thought looked like eyes, and then it kind of grew from there. In addition to a lot of my early work, I wanted to add 3D components to some of them. Like Pearl Heart had pearls on her heart, as well as Miss Agate Eyes over here.
So we're talking technique right now. We can save the story and go into her backstory, down the road.
Yeah.
You wanted to do some narrative correction as well from last week. So I figured this was a good point to, have that opportunity.
Great segue. Okay, so last week, if you haven't seen or listened, go fucking do that for yourself. Come back in a minute. But Lessons in Chemistry, the book. I have not gotten much further, but I did get about 2 chapters in. Holy shit. Everything changes within an instant. It was kind of wild to bring up. The book is still amazing. Fuck the TV show. That's what I will say. I will not plug that. So
I think it's a fun TV show. I haven't read the book. The TV show is fine.
All of the nuance between why we like Calvin Evans and why Elizabeth Zott liked Calvin Evans in the first place.
And to clarify, Elizabeth Zott, fully fictional character. Both of these fully fictional characters. So the writers rewriting
writer,
of
Bonnie.
the original writing.
Oh,
You know, that's Maddie's
come on.
ultimate problem here, but like she's getting back to the heart of what most real readers know in their heart, which is every single time movie TV adaptations, they never, you know, live up to hype. Never ever. You I still can't talk, but you compose a way better picture in your mind when you're reading these books than what anyone ever produces.
This is the first time I've ever been in that position where I feel this way. Granted, like
No,
there's not a lot of books that I do tend to read, so it's kind of a tit for tat situation.
Almost
Bonnie Garmis. Bonnie Garmis is the author who does such an amazing job of capturing the nuanced love-hate relationship between the two fictional characters and the tism that is basically these like giant love dynamics, which gets us back to Mileva Einstein and Albert Einstein and probably why there was a spark there in the first place. I get back to
Conspiracies with Maddie, you know?
I mean, I feel like correlation, not causation, speaks loud enough for it. Back to that book was fucking phenomenal, and 10 of 10 still recommend, but Jesus, what a wild ass roller coaster. Excited to see where it goes. I'm still like only 30% in.
For sure. Bayesian inference is powerful.
So, hey, you looked up the baddies that Elizabeth Zott was more inspired by, though. And I think that is where we
talk about that last week?
No, we didn't. We did this offline. We looked it up because I didn't realize Elizabeth Zott was a fictional character until I Googled it. So then you did. And now here's our follow-up.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Here we go. Was Elizabeth Zott from Lessons in Chemistry a real person? No. Okay. Based on what it is about, who is the likely model of the woman's story? So it says Rosalind Franklin, Marie Curie, Rachel Carson, Hedy Lamarr, Jane Goodall, and Barbara McClintock. And I can read any one of their backstories in more detail if you want me to.
I mean, a lot of really cool bad bitches, a lot of new inspiration for us to take from. I know Hedy Lamarr specifically is known for her beauty, but the fact that she's the mother of Wi-Fi and so much more, along with a lot of these other baddies, is why we have this channel in the first place. So while Elizabeth Zott captured my heart in this fucking book, thank you, Bonnie, it is fictional, but absolutely inspired, and like the energy and the fire is there.
Mm-hmm.
So getting into Agate Eyes, our conversation is kind of centered around, well, I loosely remember her. I believe she was
well, you want to introduce the other topics for today?
So that's where I was trying to get to.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, no, it's all good. I was like trying to slide it in. We're talking about corporate greed and how the fuck how sometimes looting the looters feels right, and I'm not
Robin
sure.
Hood. Yeah, Robin Hood is an archetypal story.
I'm not necessarily sure if I'm building this giant archetype based on a theory in my head on Agate Eyes that I painted like a good 9 months ago at this point. But I would love to get into her story and talk about our Prime Day conversation that just happened with Amazon and like the video I saw.
The Jungle, not the company, of course, for clarity's sake.
For sure. Jungle Law. Shout out Casey, best lawyers in representation.
We wouldn't want any Beth Jezzos all over here.
No penis heads, absolutely. So speaking of these giant monopolies that are headless.
I mean, yeah, no, I love headless. I mean, personally, they don't think they think of themselves as headless. There's a figurehead for sure dictating from the top down.
Dictating or lack thereof. Anyway.
I mean, there's some people up there who've broken the glass ceiling who are, big dicking or big dick energy, so to speak. So I'm not saying it's some people are just modeling the same problem from the other side. So it's not fully one side's problem anymore. We just created the problem. You're emulating it now.
And now we can absolutely witness it on a day-to-day basis because there's tracking devices that allow us to catch the best price for you because technology is at that point in time.
Okay, so to back this up, Amazon just caught for one of the best inventions of ad tech, if you ask me.
Bro,
this is something a data science nerd like me just geeks out. Like, I thought of dynamic pricing probably 2 years before Amazon rolled it out. That's something I take pride in. But yeah, so this is the idea that, like, based on real-time factors like the weather in your local place where your device is.
Based on Amazon Prime deals and putting those deals in your cart.
Sure, that's a separate issue.
Time out. Total out to something lower than the deal.
That's a very specific problem. But it's also picking back off another problem that was on the news for them this week. And yours is just a small anecdotal story, which is so accurate for sure. And we should talk about it.
Yeah.
But these are both two different intertangled things that, like, Amazon fucking does. I can't wait to share more about it. But
Jesus, go for it.
Oh,
I mean, like, yeah, lay in. What's going on in the news today with Amazon?
Yeah, so like earlier this week, Amazon, or maybe it was the end of last week, but either way, Amazon got caught for what is called dynamic pricing. And from my perspective as a data scientist, this is something that takes all of the readily available data in real time about you and your device and what you're up to at a specific moment in time, and then using that to come up with a price for what you're willing to pay for something on Amazon. And so the point of these algorithms is to pump the price as high as possible for your willingness to pay to maximize extracting profit. And they call this price arbitrage because they explain that prices fluctuate constantly because they offer dynamic pricing to their customers. Who are their customers? Amazon third-party resellers who sell products on Amazon, not the customers of Amazon Prime. Those are different customers.
I am so shook by this information. I'm actually disturbed because I've spent $15 on 10 peacock feathers that were not quality enough and a little bit of lace. And then literally 2 days later, I went to Scrap Casey, shout out, fucking insane. The ability to pick up all of anyone's, you can donate. You can also just find a lot of different scraps. They had like, it's an entire warehouse of, I got a bag of lace for $5. Mm-hmm. And I am just like, this is how do we get out of this consumer?
Do you know what the justification for this is?
No, I would be really hard pressed other than the love of money is the root of all evil.
Well, sure, that's like that's like the root of the problem. That's not what the like excuse is justifying it and keeping it in place.
Stakeholders need money.
Well, for sure, that's ultimately the motivating factor, but that's not literally what's being used.
Okay, what's their excuse?
So the excuse is when you have a salesperson, they don't necessarily tell you the full range of prices they can offer you to sell something, and they're going to choose to sell high. You can always negotiate with them, but most people just accept the high price. And so this basically, they would argue that these pricing algorithms are just replicating offline sales tactics, and mirroring them in an online environment. Just like a good salesperson would be able to read a prospect and find what their willingness to pay tolerance is.
Keep taking more money.
Well, yeah, that's how capitalism works.
There's no actual salesperson there, so like there's no charisma.
Come on, you can't call it. That's so rude.
Sells you on the relationship, right? Like where's my 1980s?
ChatGPT. Please speak to me like a 1980s salesperson.
Totally, it's fucking free. It has. I mean, like that's what I get back to.
It's built off your data.
So then pay me.
Well, that's what our business is all about. You're invested in the solution.
That's the point, right? I mean,
that's Playhouse for everyone. Yeah, own your own data with Playhouse. But anyways,
getting back into this wild,
to build into that, Amazon's price fixing algorithm, obviously big news. The basically the government and some people found out about it, and they're like, this is so immoral and insane. And I'm like, oh my god, that's evil genius, what I thought. And then they implemented it. And then anyways, fast forward to now, you have anecdotally uncovered a few different videos from people that have documented how prices are more expensive during Amazon Prime Days than they are before Amazon Prime Days for the exact same products and goods. And that is very much in the same vein of this dynamic price fixing. And also what grocery stores just got in trouble for. So, like so many people just robbing their customers blind by, what doesn't the FCC have a law against
Dude,
this?
this has been like,
I'm pretty sure if you lie to your customers can sue you. But
here's the thing, and then everybody's getting paid out. I'm like, okay, I don't know a single fucking person. I know all of us have been affected by it. I know none of us have been paid out, or like I have been hard pressed to find any one person that's been paid out. Please show me.
I can show you a list of law firms that got paid out.
And that's when we get back to is like, who the fuck is making money on any of this other than they're just like raking us over the coals? Holy shit! Going back to that grocery shit.
Most people get like $12 for things like this, and then the law firms, they walk away with 30% of it, which is millions for them, and then they make a couple million each.
It's just the money. Money talks. Fucking crazy. Amazon.
The jungle, of course. Again.
Do better. I'm like, we're up. Who's ready to go off grid?
Save the Amazon jungle.
Let's progress. I just need to move on from this so that we can move forward. Because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, do we have to pull up any sources or prove this anymore, or just let people feel good? Did I info dump enough about this topic where you guys feel good that have enough information?
Do your own research, right? We're just bringing you the information to your attention. We should always look into the things that sound so outlandish. It seems too crazy to be true. That being said, maybe use different search bars, like hey, what what would you use as a search engine instead of the giant conglomerates that exist today?
I have a bias here, Maddie.
I know you do. I get back to, but what's your top 3?
I mean, okay,
so are you a GoDaddy boy?
Well, GoDaddy is
not... Go Duck. Is it Go
Go?
There you go.
There you go. I appreciate
it. Shows you I don't use it.
No, but at the same time, I appreciate it there. I'm gonna go with I use Google.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
that sounds about right. Feeding the beast.
Yeah. Well, sure. All of the above. I like their products and services. They're an incompetent company at this point. But there's good people that work there at the same time, and all of the above. So
Darcy.
Yep, had an amazing manager. Anyways,
for sure.
Time out from the Google stuff. I also work in advertising, and I buy a lot of Google ads, and Google search is very dependent. Or are very dependent on that.
So would be the
my customers my customers' livelihood. If you're a small business owner, those are the people I try to help buy ads on Google, and Google Maps is still really, really important, and that's tied up in Google search. And so, anyways, I'm still an advocate for using Google because selfishly I make money from that. So disclosure, but separate from that, yes, DuckDuckGo. You should be aware that Microsoft owns it. So it might be like Google's incognito mode in the Chrome browser, where it is not incognito. You know what I mean?
Just so you all know.
So the real private, I applaud you for knowing the company in the first place. I wouldn't, because it's so niche and random. That's all.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my Aunt Jenny on that one, because when I suggested use Yandex, the Russian search engine, which is what I do use, she goes, "You don't use DuckDuckGo," and so that is why I just relayed the information.
I don't know how proud we should be that we go to Russian propaganda search
engines. I know they're going to be as honest about whatever I'm probably looking for.
I know that they're going to push...
If it's not Russian.
I know they're gonna push all the fringe theories towards us if it's breaking news. So
maybe.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, and that's why I go check there, and that's fine. So
take everything with a giant ass large grain of salt. You know, use some common sense, do some deductive reasoning, listen to a few different perspectives, and fucking move on, because like we can't change anything other than our reaction and our response.
Read more than the fucking headline, for one thing.
True.
That's a really great start across the board. If you read it and you're like, oh my god, this person sounds like a moron, then don't believe it. The headline might have been catchy, but the writer's a moron, so don't trust it.
Yeah, you're probably not
That's
wrong.
the easiest.
It's a good way to like go about it.
That's the easiest way to get started filtering. Yeah. Easiest way to get started filtering, but you have to read past the headline. And most people are like, clickbait, the headline's all that mattered. And it's like, anyways.
Shit. So how do we become more sustainable in this like giant vortex of information and consumerism?
Well, I appreciated you teeing me up to give a little plug for someone who I definitely need to owe like a shout out and hooking them up with something when I have more time to invest in their project. But anyways,
talking about other Google past loves.
Yeah, good friend. Maybe not at the moment, which is deserved, but I'll work on that. Anyways,
shout out to Ayako.
Yeah, Project E-Size. But anyways, she told me that, you know, one of the biggest wastes in, you know, retail and e-commerce is basically returns. It's something for like 30 to 70% of all costs in the space come from returns. I forget what the exact number is, but I know that 30% of all the costs is women's returns, and half of it is simply just because they like get multiple sizes of something because they don't know which one's going to fit them.
Guilty.
Which is,
I mean, not guilty, but like, yeah, the worst idea of like you got 2 weeks before something's supposed to get there, and obviously it's probably in preparation for something that's coming up. And so the idea of it not fitting really fucking sucks. So getting more sizes, you could at least give some to your sisters. You could, I mean, like, you know, all of the things, excuses that we tell ourselves to make us feel better about spending more money.
But it becomes a tool you can share with your significant other also, so that they can very easily get you gifts and have it actually kind of be awesome instead of be like, oh, this might work.
Right. And so like, yeah, where we're currently spending more and like actually probably not, we're not returning most of that Shein shit. Let's be real. It's ending up in a landfill. It's ending up in thrift stores. Like, let's be a little bit more conscious. And that was another reason that
Ayako was motivated to do their project. And, you know, we just weren't in a good spot to deliver on it.
We need more development resources. And at this point in time, like, it's an incredible idea to be able to take your body measurements and then feed that into
sizing algorithm.
Yeah. So any site that you're online shopping in, it tells you yes or no, this is going to fit you. And then you can feel more confident in your sourcing and your purchases and feel more sustainable in like your cost. You're like, your cost on the world, honestly, because like our consumption habits are just kind of out of this fucking world. And if you're not thrifting, then please, for the love of God, try. I know there's other issues with that too, but it's just like the more conscious you can be about the decisions you make on the daily and what you're adding into your life, the better off, I don't know, the full circle of that is. Now I'm rambling. I'm a rambling man.
I'm going to share this with people right now. Cool. I don't know if they have so one of the ideas is to build it as a Chrome plugin or a Safari plugin and, you know, be something that's a useful tool in your browser. And I think, you know, with all the Web3 elements that are coming on and what Ayako's up to, I think she's ahead of the game with a lot of this stuff. So, again, the more we can support good projects like that, the better.
Smart individuals having great ideas. I want to continue to get behind that. I can't wait till we have the resources to be able to bring a lot of these cool ideas to fruition.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot of the back end deals with a lot of like, interesting partners, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of like excited for the future.
Yeah.
Getting into. Do you want to chat GPT?
Well, can I show off the other browser tool?
Yeah.
So it's called Camel Camel Camel. I found this on TikTok. Also, the government wants to censor TikTok. LOL. Anyways, so Camel 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 basically allows you to see the pricing over time of different Amazon products and see when it doesn't spike and know when it's a good time to buy. And they offer Chrome extension, so it's not even speculative. And so here's what the price looks like over all time.
Bro, does that literally align with Prime Day though?
If Prime, kind of.
It does, like the spike.
Not for necessarily this product, but like also it's like there's just such a random selection.
I know.
You'd have to go like I don't even know if any of these even have a Prime Day deal right now. So
what is good deal versus Prime deal? I guess it's not even Prime Day anymore.
Yeah. But like, yeah, look, I don't know. Click here if you're not redirect.
That's something.
It's not going to show me the price. Oh, I might have clicked the wrong part. Is that on Amazon? I need to see the camel part. Classic Connor. You create an account so you can start watching it and all of those things. Yeah, look, the price is up. It's they dropped it $6 supposedly for this. So
I like this ugly.
But also, the first time it was listed, it was also $22. So it's almost double the price originally. And it's only been like a year or two. And these are just seat covers. So, anyways, who knows? But
just crazy.
I have these AI tools, so we could absolutely do our story of agate eyes and go into your art piece today. But do you want to tell any other pieces of information why you made it, or?
I mean, like, I loved her story, and I really resonated with it when I listened to it back in the day. That's why she's a part of it. Actually, I'll go find the original and what I wrote. To be fair, I can't imagine that it's like super in depth. It's usually like a sentence or two.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to pull up our history on Casey's Most Wanted, actually, thank you. Good question. Thinking about it.
Can you give me her full name again real quick?
Yeah, it's on there. Mattie, Mattie Howard.
Oh, there we go.
So as I look up this, Mattie Howard, Casey's Most Wanted, I wanted to basically shout out a Casey baddie as we are living in Casey currently. And I love where we're currently living. Here we go. Oh, literally just the most dangerous criminal ever in Casey, which I think that's a badass ploy, especially because I think she's around the 1800s. I do recall her sleight of the hand, grabbing jewelry, and so that is essentially why she's in modern day hoodie but hiding an agate necklace underneath, mostly because I didn't show her fucking wrists. It was more about the eyes, and this was the last little piece to filling out the rest of her details. It's cool though because she has a very like devil and angel-esque story where she's Casey's Most Wanted, but then has this brand new reinvention of herself, revived and thrived is what I wrote on the canvas. But basically reinvents herself as a priestess or some sort of like spiritual figure out in Colorado, which go fucking figure. If you're not within the Midwest pipeline of like Casey to Colorado or like Great Plains to Colorado, like, bro, where the fuck else did you go? Fucked around in Cali for a minute. Okay. Maybe Florida. Probably not even Florida. No, if you were living in Casey, please tell me if you actually went back down to Florida, because like I really have that does not make sense.
I mean, I would go back to the water.
New York first, then Florida. I could see that.
I'm down in Florida for the water every time.
Yeah, but you're from Michigan. Like that Michigan to Florida pipeline makes so much more sense. Like I don't know people that go from like here to Florida very often. Like, not a lot. If you do, let me know. I'm very curious. What was your upbringing? Upper middle class? Did you go to Disney?
I didn't go to Disney. I went like
Actually,
once
my
or twice.
bestie Jackie, so it would probably be her. So yeah, I am not incorrect in that.
Probably, but I only went to Disney like once or twice. We just went to the beach.
I know, but I go
like
back
going
to
to
the
the beach.
Michigan to Florida pipeline is different. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So-
what are our highlights on Maddie Howard?
So
Ooh, I like that. Enigmatic. Is that what it said?
yes, but 1 second. I also have a little thing.
Ooh, you're gonna give us a visual too.
Let's see. I'm gonna do that, but we'll read the story while that's going in the background. So, Maddie Howard, Kansas City's enigmatic heroine. Origins. In the bustling streets of Kansas City, where jazz melodies filled the air and the aroma of barbecues wafted through the neighborhoods, a young girl named Maddie Howard. That's so generic, but also not. It's just selling Casey hard.
Yeah.
From an early,
it's the only
stereotypically,
stereotypically knew about Casey. Let's be very realistic. Yeah, right, that's exactly right.
This is free. I had it rated for young adults. So here's the prompt I gave it. It said, Maddie Howard, Casey Most Wanted. Can you tell us a positive lore-style narrative about her personal backstory and major life events? This is for a young adults educational series.
This sounds like it's
right.
I don't know how to say that.
It's okay. You covered your mouth, and maybe the cameras heard it, but he probably won't. And if you hear that and understand,
if you do, I cannot wait to hear it from you.
We do love you, Troy.
We love you. This is too good.
Anyways, origins. Yeah, okay, so a young girl named Maddie Howard was born. From an early age, Maddie exhibited a rare blend of intelligence, determination, and unwavering sense of justice. Growing up in the early 20th century, a time of significant social and economic upheaval, Maddie was no stranger to the struggles of her community. The awakening. Maddie's awakening to the world's injustices began during her teenage years. The disparity between the wealthy and the impoverished ignited a flame within her. Despite the area's challenges, she was determined to make a difference. She sought knowledge relentlessly, often spending her nights reading under the dim light of a single candle. Yeah, she sounds more like my kind of person.
No, I know. I'm talking about the baddie resonation of the energy. It's like this is why I loved her. This is why we're inspired by her. Yeah. I'm so happy to have her haunting my hallway.
I've actually read the book that radicalized her, that she loves. Her favorite book was The Jungle by Upton Sinclair.
Ooh, hey. Ooh, that's a weird full circle from Jungle Law earlier. 404 as I fucking say that. That's nuts.
Jungle Law and Upton Sinclair couldn't be pretty much further from each other in terms of reality, you know? But, I hear you. But it opened her eyes to the harsh realities faced by workers and the underprivileged. So,
Okay.
It's all relative.
Nice.
And I would say the Jungle Law serves those people as well.
Absolutely.
But
talk about a Florida Casey pipeline, actually fucking weird.
Yeah, if that law firm is run by Florida men, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, okay. I've only seen a few videos, but I guess he's a local from here, did law down in Florida, and then wanted to come back. So basically,
is that real?
Yeah.
That's what Jungle Law is.
Jungle Law. Literally reach out. Would love to have a conversation with you.
What a joke.
But yeah, so he was just he has the Tarzan here essentially. So he started with one billboard, and then it's now something like 1,800 across the Kansas metro area, like Kansas, Missouri.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Rock on, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good marketing and advertising gimmick.
I lean into Casey's downtown was that fucking billboard.
Yeah, we're talking about it right now. Lean into it, right? No, I mean that's what I do.
Cool.
So, anyways, great job.
Yeah.
I poke fun because it's something to talk about, which is I assume why you make the ads that gets you press. Yada yada yada.
Good work.
Okay.
Good media. Good marketing.
Right. A rising star. Her brilliance did not go unnoticed. At just 18, Maddie won a scholarship to a local university where she studied sociology and law. I didn't realize that. Okay.
That's cool.
Her passion for justice and equality grew.
Century too.
Yeah.
Body.
She became a prominent figure in student movements advocating for workers' rights and social reforms. Her eloquence and charisma drew crowds and she quickly became a beloved figure in Kansas City. The catalyst. The turning point in Maddie's life came when a close friend was wrongfully imprisoned. Outraged by the injustice, she vowed to fight for his freedom. Utilizing her knowledge of the law and her growing network of supporters, Maddie organized a series of peaceful protests and legal campaigns. Her efforts paid off, and her friend was exonerated. The victory solidified her resolve to champion the underdog and combat corruption.
Hell yeah. Dude, this I was like, who the fuck? I need to be better about writing down my sources.
Maddie's dedication to justice soon put her at odds with the powerful figures who thrived on the city's corruption. Undeterred, she continued her crusade, exposing illicit activities and advocating for the voiceless. Her actions earned her the moniker Casey's Most Wanted, not for any criminal deeds, but for the relentless pursuit of justice that threatened the status quo. That's what old Agate Eyes is known for. Agate Eyes is known for being a stone cold bitch.
I fucking love her.
Anyways, here's what Midjourney came up with. It looks nothing like her.
No.
But classic rewriting of history by these things.
Why does it seem so much more woke?
Well, because that's how these systems have been asked to work.
Like, that one's probably, I mean, like, I was like, I'm pretty sure she has light hair. I mean, maybe I was re-envisioning her, but I don't think so. I usually pull up, like, a lot of different photos.
Yeah, well, we can just do this to make it more correct. Watch.
Holy shit, though. What a bad bitch. I was like...
The young... Also known as Agate Eyes.
This might have been my wine and crime. I should Google that.
So yeah, these algorithms are a little bit wokish. But that being said, you can get it to do stuff more accurately if you articulate things a little clearer. And we did use ChatGPT to generate it. And I don't fault it for just trying to be more representative. You can get it to get what you want. You just have to ask it to give it to you.
Well, can I see it?
Well, it's working. But like, I could also be like, give me a blonde-haired.
It's her.
You know.
I was like, she's definitely blonde.
Yeah.
I mean, like, fucking tell me I'm wrong.
Right. Okay, so we'll do.
But like, what a bad bitch. These are. I did the best I absolutely could from a representation of the photos that still exist of this bad bitch. I mean, like the book that she has of the girl with agate eyes is probably one of the cutest and best representations I could think of, but it's obviously an illustration as well. I'm like, she deserves better. All of these bad bitches deserve better. It didn't do it better. That's so funny. That is like not even close. That's so crazy how wanted. She's literally physically $500 reward. What's $500 in today's money?
What time was that?
I was like in 20th century. Let me see if I can get a date on this. June 22nd, 1918. Speak about other. Dude, what the? Oh shit, she has her. Okay, apparently I should have read her description. Ew, that's so wild.
Which one of these most looks like agate eyes? This one?
Yeah, I'd say ish.
Yeah, show her. I can see what I have pulled up here. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I did show this, but yes. I just was looking at her description here. Investigating suspected murder. Age 23. Holy shit, she's bad. He's only 23.
They accused her of murder?
They accused her of murder, yeah.
Anyways, it's $10,000, by the way.
$10,000! That's crazy. In just over 100 years. that $500 is now expected to be 10,000. What's that percentage increase? I mean, that's 1,000% increase. But check that math. Dude, it literally, this is so fucking wild. Wait, 162. Use fucking measurements. Kilos or pounds? 69 height. Head length. 18.8. Outer arms. 69. What the fuck does that mean? I was like, how do you even get these measurements also? Head width, 14.7.
Well, you know,
middle finger, 10.7.
Maddie, this is back when they did eugenics and before they had computers. So they used to do like statistical analysis on everything they could observe. So they would measure these things and classify people on their literal physical differences.
Dark blonde hair.
Completely doesn't take into consideration phenotypical expressions, you know, and like epigenetics and all of this stuff. And so it is, you know, eugenics is a fuck science, as we say, a junk science.
This is so fucking wild, dude. Mole, back of neck, large, well-shaped legs, and good figure. Wait, no. Did you hear that last bit?
They called her hot.
Hold the fucking phone. You can.
They commented on her figure.
We trust bears for large, whale-shaped legs and good figure.
She trusts bears on 2 different levels. You learned that today. And, you know, the Russians are known as the bears as well.
No bears.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane, dude. I can't even. Please, if you have what descriptions are used today? I would love to know. Anyway.
Here's how I have AI do math for me. But I make it sure it's works so that I trust it.
2,000%.
Basically.
1,000%, which is what I guess.
19.8 times.
That is nuts.
So.
That's fucking crazy. That makes sense though. Holy shit.
Why do mental math when you can have it do mental math?
414. I mean,
also, that's
what an
not
episode. Are we?
I think that's everything for this week.
I feel really pretty wrapped up for the day. Thank you.
Were you gonna show off your other piece of artwork, or was that just up here?
I brought it up. Sure. I mean, okay. In the spirit,
you don't have to. I'm just like.
I did bring it up for that reason. It's not gonna be in my house after this week, so I might as well show it now. In the spirit of just recreation of energy and spirit, I lost my great grandma back in June, and that was the legacy that was behind both my great grandpa passing away, like literally a decade to the year before. So it was very like.
Here, I can hold it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It fits enough, and then I'll pull it down. But yeah, so here is my grandma, my grandpa, my great grandma and grandpa, Grandma Lois and Papa Bud, although his name is Ewald, and I'm pretty sure I found that out when I was 11 or 12. No, I found that out when he had his stroke. So I had to have been like 11 or 12 at that point. I went 11 years without knowing that his name was not Bud. Anyway, so fucking crazy.
Hey, Bud.
Yeah, Papa Bud. He's Papa Bud and Grandma Oli. Oh, yeah.
Hey, friend.
Also, Grandma Lois. Grandma Oli. Like, I don't know how that sticks.
Hey, guy.
That I basically, I don't know. I'm just like, talk to your grandparents, please. Like, ask them stories.
I validate that so much. My grandma told me so many cool stories about my family.
They tell you shit about your parents. Please, like, they know all the shit. Like, ask them questions they want to share.
But they have their own cool lives that they live that are interesting that they didn't get to share with their own kids because, like, you can't share that.
Yeah.
But they could share with their grandkids.
True.
So, but you have to ask. You have to ask.
It's very, very true.
Interviewing my grandma about her, like I said, coolest thing I ever got to do. Thank goodness for my school making me do that. And, like, obviously there's events that bring us together to make us learn more.
And honestly, like, it's never too late, but also don't take that for granted, because there's always moments that slip away, and it's just ask the fucking questions, you know? But in the transitions of everything, my grandma has been living up with my Aunt Jenny, shout out again, who's been incredible taking care of like the whole fucking family dynamic. But she was able to uncover this like gorgeous piece of them like when they were young. Actually, I should find the photo of what they actually look like, because this is my rendition of it that is using coffee. Here it is. I definitely took coffee because they are just avid coffee sippers. They'd be sipping coffee until 8 in the afternoon. Or 8 in the evening. Like, grandma fucking put coffee down every day. And if she wasn't cooking, if she wasn't baking cookies or making her milkshakes, bring all the boys to the yard, it was my grandpa basically living through what was the first like depression, and like I only know my existence through his ability to grow new life and sustain life without having fucking like to live on the accommodations of the fucking system. And so this is what I'm trying to get back to. And the American Gothic photo is more or less what inspired this whole situation in the first place. But
it's the pitchfork.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's coming up to Minnesota to hang out with us at the funeral. We'll see where it ends up, whether that's with my grandma or if that's with my mom. We'll game time decisions. Thanks for bringing this up though, because this was my grandma's barn. And the farm that I basically grew up on outside of.
And wait, there's also the mechanic's jacket that you love to wear all the time included in this. It's also his.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So his Cenex shirt is, he used to work at a gas station. So that was, I've repurposed a lot of his old work shirts and then use them for a lot of my creations, because he's missing a lot of his fingers. I realized that I was like, you can just zoom in indefinitely and you just don't find more nails. He lost about 3 or 4 of them in the process of just his carpentry over the years, but it's cool.
So this is a deep fake, is what you're saying?
No, I was as accurate as possible. The painting's there, and the other one's kind of hanging out. You can't see the rest of them.
You didn't emphasize the hand that lost the fingers.
No, I mean, like,
you did the man justice. That's all. I was like, oh, to the deep fake.
I represented to the accuracy that I could at this point. There was a lot of back and forth on trying to get their old house in there, and ultimately I just decided to do their RV, because that's the thing that I represent and represents them the most. That and the mud pies.
Yeah, my one question was the coffee part planned.
Yeah, I definitely wanted, so the sepia tone, right? I was like, how the fuck do you paint sepia tone? And then I was like, okay, I didn't know how to do sepia tone. So I was like, that seems like a really good repurposing of it. And they are just fucking avid coffee drinkers. So it felt accurate.
Remember to sniff the painting if you get the chance. So
it's lost its sniff. After like 2.5 weeks, it's lost its sniff. It's so sad. I was like, I wonder if I could just spray it.
The answer is don't test to find out if
it's to touch it. So
yeah,
I think that's the answer.
Yeah, don't do a scratch and sniff. We will smack you. Anyways,
arm's length away. But yeah, I mean, if you can catch PJs hanging out in their RV, and
I think that's one of the coolest things, because you can't really tell from the front what that is. You can only tell when you turn the canvas sideways that you've got an RV, because it kind of looks like a storefront. But then you see the little details of the truck, and that's like so cool. So the headlights.
It's been a very nice grieving process.
Is that another milkshake joke by putting the headlight on there?
Ooh, no, it was just accurate to the one thing that I could remember of their, like, it's a 1985 like weird ass camper. I would have never expected, but it was a nice grieving process. Thanks for bringing it up. It's 4:20 as we speak, so we might as well just like call her an afternoon.
Absolutely, it's been another episode of your weekly Mojo with Madison Jessica here on Playhouse TV, and with one headlight, just like the wallflowers, will let it take us out.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. Thank you, co-host Connor Borrego.